Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you all are fine. The topic which I'm going to discuss today is actually the post-transcriptional modification. We all are familiar with the topic transcription, which is actually the process by which double-stranded DNA is converted into the single-stranded messenger RNA. Now, what are the post-transcriptional modifications? As you all know, the process of transcription is carried out into the nucleus of the cell and the process of translation is carried out into the cytoplasm. So the product of the transcription, messenger RNA, has to move into the cytoplasm for the further process of the translation. Actually, the product formed after transcription is the pre-messenger RNA, not the mature messenger RNA. So it has to modify before moving into the cytoplasm. So the post-transcriptional modifications are carried out after transcription and before translation. So let's see what are those modifications which are carried out before translation. So there are three important steps in the post-transcriptional modification. The first is capping, second is splicing, and third is polyadenylation. As messenger RNA has two ends, 5' end and 3' end. Capping occurs at the 5' end and the polyadenylation, which is the addition of tail, occurs at the 3' end. So what is capping? Capping is actually the addition of the cap in the 5' end of the messenger RNA, the very first modification, and the cap is actually the 7-methylguanosine cap. Soon after the formation of the pre-messenger RNA, its capping started, and further three steps are involved in the formation of the 5' cap. In the first step, phosphate group is removed, which is present at the 5' end of the pre-messenger RNA. In the second step, GMP moiety is added. In the third step, methyl group is added. Now the question arises that what are the significance of the capping? Why is it necessary? It actually protects, supports the 5' end of the messenger RNA and provide prevention from broken down. Splicing, RNA splicing, the next important step. Now what is the role of RNA splicing? The messenger RNA formed after transcription have both exons and introns. Exons have the genetic information while introns have not. So what would be the disadvantage of the introns? They actually increases the length of the messenger RNA. So it would be difficult for the messenger RNA to move in the cytoplasm, so these introns should be removed. And these introns are removed by the RNA splicing. After the removal of these introns, the messenger RNA would be the mature and the active messenger RNA. RNA splicing is very important step. It occurs with great precision. If there is any abnormality in splicing, there may be the loss of nucleotides, there may be the loss of bases, and there may be the loss of important genetic information. And next, the proteins that will form from these messenger RNA in the cytoplasm will surely have abnormalities. Polyadenylation. It is the last step in the post-transcriptional modification and it is the addition of the tail. And as I have already told you, it occurs at the 3' end. And an enzyme polymerase is responsible for it. And this enzyme adds 200 adenines in the 3' end. Now what is the role, what are the significance of polyadenylation? As in the polyadenylation there is the addition of the tail, so it provides motility. It helps in the movement of the messenger RNA from the nucleus to the cytoplasm. So all the three steps have been done. Now messenger RNA is active, it is mature and it is ready to move from the nucleus to the cytoplasm for the next step, translation, the formation of proteins. Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks a lot. That was actually my first video and I hope you people like